So my name is Shanice Bernicky. I'm currently a PhD student at Carleton University. I'm also based in Ottawa, but I'm originally from Montreal. I think my research interests are a bit all over the place, but I will say that I've come to understand that it really lies at the intersections of post-colonial theory, critical race theory, and then also producing engaging art practices and art pieces. So that could be something that's more mixed media. My background is in video production, but I'm also interested in textile, intermedia pieces, digital art. But there's something about working with artistic materials that I feel are really representative of specific time and place. So seeing how artists are able to kind of like fold in the boundaries of the spaces where they come to meet their pieces and their artwork and what they're able to produce and how they're feeling, especially considering equity, diversity, and inclusion practices. So seeing how in a settler colonial state like Canada and how racialized and Indigenous communities produce artwork is incredibly fruitful, but then also salient for how our community is and the vitality of our communities at large. I think that working as a freelance editor, one of the things that I was able to do with the tools that I had was work in different avenues, most of them actually propping up marginalized voices for the vitality of their communities. And I think that one of the things that I want is for there to be tools that are provided to communities specifically. So not focused on mining from the communities and producing these long documents that kind of demonstrate engagement in some form, but actually providing meeting spaces, tools, access to specific equipment, exhibitions that are actually perhaps permanent rather than a traveling exhibition. Also, festivals that are specifically oriented towards communities. And so having those spaces for them to view work produced from within the community, by the community, for them, but then also seeing how we can have a level of equitable engagement between communities and then also the organizations who are interested in working with them. A stronger relationship between the two is something that I'm really interested in, something that allows for community members to actually have seats at the table, regular seats at the table that aren't tokenistic, but are actually there to make sure festivals are doing the best they can. Organizations that I'm interested in working with are perhaps Ottawa-based, basically because I'm also new to this community, and I think that I would like to stress that I'll be learning as much from them as they will be perhaps learning from me, having me as part of their team for the brief while. And I think that I'm interested in working with specifically museums, community centers, and perhaps any other artist spaces, so maker spaces that are interested in including more diverse voices. Once I know which organization and festival that I am paired with, I'll be able to then have a more crystallized idea of what the project might end up looking like based on the steps we end up taking together. Je suis aussi bilingue, anglais-français, si jamais il y en a des institutions francophones intéressées à travailler avec moi. Merci.